morning, everybody. Today is the 23rd of July, 2020. This is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I am in Beaver, Utah. We shut down here for the night. Not too bad. We did about 530 miles yesterday in 9 hours. I'll take that, especially going up some of the hills we went. We got to get to Denver. We are getting repowered off this load. We figured we would. Glad we're getting to Denver, but I got to get hitting in here. Just a few things. So I got the two cameras, as you can see, going. I got the one camera set up that yesterday I wanted to set it up to shoot going along the strip, and it died on me. Today I want to be able to film when we're going through Vail. So hopefully that'll work for me, and we'll go that way. So we're gonna have a good day. It should be a nice day. We may run into some weather, but we'll see how that goes. Like I said, we've already talked to the guy that's repowering us. Told him we'll be there in about 10 hours or so, and we'll get there. So other than that, it is 75 degrees at 8:34 local time. So we're gonna hit it, and we'll see how it goes, and we will catch you in a few. Hey everybody, just real quick, just this main camera right this second. We are just turning onto I-70. This is where I think this is where it starts. I-70 starts right here, and we are gonna go up this mountain up here. It's just a beautiful day. We did get just a little rain just a little while ago, so that we're gonna have to deal with that a little bit today. I have a feeling, but got my brand new clean windshield there. I just cleaned it, got up there and cleaned it, but it's all right. Anyway, we've got 512 miles to Denver. We're going to stop in Grand Junction, Colorado to take our 30-minute break and stretch your legs a little bit. So we will pick you up as we go. It's a little slow going up some of these mountains. Luckily, I'm a little bit on the light side as far as load. I'm about 65,000 pounds roughly. So that's a little bit light. That'll help us up these mountains, and going down the mountains it'll help us a little bit. But I'm just hoping you don't get any rain. And the reason why I want to talk to you about not getting any rain, especially going through these mountains, is because it takes away one of our tools. And what I mean by that is we can't use the Jake brake if it's raining, okay, if the roads are wet. So because what happens is the Jake brake, it's an engine brake. So if that trailer can slide on the wet road, you can end up jackknifing pretty bad. So hopefully it'll stay dry, and that way we can use all our tools available. If not, then it just takes a little bit longer, because then we're going to do it 100% by the gear we're in, and that kind of thing. So we will catch you as we go, but we got some hills to negotiate here, and hills and mountains over the next little while, and we will talk to you soon. All right, we're back. We just got to the top of that summit. This is Clear Creek Summit, 7,180 feet. So just for those of you who maybe are thinking about getting into truck driving and haven't traveled very far or whatever, but especially if you live in the east, mountains are different as far as elevation and everything else. I mean, I'm sure there are some with some elevation out east, but some of the ones that we go up and down out there, the peaks are around 2,000 feet. Definitely not in the 7,000 plus range. So, but going to be a beautiful morning, and we'll catch you in a little bit. Here's a gorgeous view right here. pretty view right here. Sometimes you just gotta enjoy the view. We are in Utah. We're about 115 miles west of Grand Junction, Colorado, on I-70. It is rather chilly outside, about not quite 80 degrees right now, but it is 11:30 local time. You got to remember, this is the elevation here is right now somewhere around, I'm going to guess about 6,000 feet, maybe a little bit less than that, but still quite a ways up here. Sharp curve here, so we're going to slow down really big. So always remember that these miles per hour right here that they're showing, this 40 mile an hour turn, that is for four-wheelers. That's for cars, four-wheel cars, four-wheel trucks, that kind of stuff. It is not for these big trucks. You need to be going, 5 to 10 miles an hour, less than that at least. Love going down these hills and feel your ear pop. There's a runaway ramp right there. See, they have the runaway ramp to the left. You tell somebody went up that at some point in time and then got out of it. But then you've got the paved area to the right that allows them to go up and help get you out of there with a tow truck or whatever. But somebody used that, which, hey, if you for some reason you lose control, for whatever reason your brakes don't work, or you just started coming down here a little bit too hot, you feel like you're losing control, it's better to go take that ramp than to worry about losing control and killing somebody. I mean, you're gonna mess up your truck. Might not, you don't know that you'll destroy your truck, but you'll mess it up some, and you'll have to deal with that. But that's a lot better than you killing yourself or somebody else. So, but this is just beautiful right here. Got a buddy of mine that went to work for Creek Transport. He's liking it. There's thousands, if not tens of thousands of companies out there to drive for. So you got to find the one that fits you well, Right now I like Stevens. They just treated me well. They give me a lot of miles. They get me home when I ask, or wherever I ask, take home time. So, I mean, they take pretty good care of me. I got a really good DM, Jonathan, and I've got, you know, and I've made some relationships with some of the planners that they know that if they need something run, that I'm gonna get it done for them. And so they're pretty good about it. You know, we still got a little bit of view over here. You know, this is gonna be a pretty long video right on this here, but just the views are amazing. If you haven't come on I-70 through Utah, it's a trip you should make at some point in time. There's a lot of places to stop and enjoy the view. So anyway, we're done with the 6% grade, but we still have a little bit of a downhill grade, so we're just going to continue to keep it a little cautious here. And we will pick you up in a little while. This is just a little bit east of Grand Junction. As you come around here, you can see some of the fruit and the greenery out here in the... But no, just beautiful out here. Especially this green superimposed against the backdrop of the cliffs behind and the dryness of the cliffs. But you can see some of the facilities, and don't think that's a house, but you got vineyards over here, and just beautiful. And as you go over this hill, you'll see a little bit more. But we're definitely getting into this greenery up here as we go, and we will the farther we go. So anyway, thought you'd just enjoy that look. We're going along the Colorado River right here. We got some two-way traffic right here. Looks like the upper level is closed right now. Did see some people fishing and kayaking and floating down the river a little bit, but just take a little drive through here, see how this is. Speed's 40 miles an hour right now, so found a little fishing spot a little bit earlier. Wish I would have taken some video of it. I didn't really know what it was until it went until I went through it, and by the time I went through it, it was too late to videotape it. But there's an area right about mile marker 50 if you're going eastbound on I-70. You got to be going eastbound, but right there, mile marker 50. Right before there's a set of tunnels right there. Right before that, there's a place that says parking area, and I went because I needed to check a message, and so I went and parked it, went and stopped there, and what it was is an area of, they used to be the old I-70 before they built that tunnel that went around that hill, and what they did is they converted it to parking. But on one side it's parking, on the other side it's right up against the river where if you had a fishing pole, you could go do some fishing over there and check it out. Here we just got some rapids. But downriver a little bit there, like I said, there was people fishing, kayaking. Wouldn't be surprised to see some more people fishing up here, up a little bit higher. Up here, but we just thought we would check it out real quick. All right, we'll be back with you in a little bit. got one of the tunnels up here. I'm not sure which tunnel this is. East of Glenwood Springs and west of Vail. That little noise you just heard was my front-facing radar saying there was an object in front of me, but I didn't see one. I don't think you guys did either. If it is, I don't know what it was, but anyway, yeah, there's a nice little tunnel right there. So now we got back to 2 lanes, so we'll see what happens here. All right, I'll pick you up in a little. Well, you know what? We're gonna go along with this for a few minutes, just to check it out, just to see. Couple minutes anyway. You got that upper level up there, that westbound. There's a trail all along over here. I don't know how long it is, but there's a paved trail along the river. Train tracks on the other side. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave you here, and we'll pick you up in a little while. We're getting ready to come up here into Vail, the area down here. There's going to be a lake over here you're going to be able to see. You come over this little hill over here. Early on in one of my early videos, when I was on my trainer March truck, we stopped here for the night, I believe. If it's the one that I'm thinking of coming up here, and like I said, I believe it's up here. It's this one. It may be the next one, but we stopped and spent the night over here, and it was really beautiful. We stopped a few different places over here, but you'll get to see them. Just some beautiful areas. Not this one. It's going to be the next one, I think. But like I said, just some beautiful views over here. As you go. This whole area here is really gorgeous. So just to let you know, just a couple things as we start to get ready to get, we're about 51 miles west of the east tunnel on I-70. There's a couple of sets of tunnels as you go through here, but just a couple of things to let you know. If you're driving for Stevens Transport, so there's certain rules that come along with I-70 here, and that's this stretch that goes between that goes up Vail Pass, basically. So during the winter, as a company, for the most part, we try to avoid this stretch of road during the winter, except for long periods of time where the road has been clear and there's no precipitation out there, no freezing rain, no frozen roads, no snow. We try to avoid it, okay, during the winter. And if you're and even during the summer or this time of year like now, if you are a training student or a grad student, okay, in grad class, in a grad student, you cannot drive this pass. You must be a solo driver. You must be out on your own in the regular fleet, or that's one of the rules. So you have to have some experience to drive this, because it's not an easy. Both ways going up and down, there's some steepness, as you can see as we got towards here. We've seen some of the steepness, but going up here, and it takes time, and it's winding, and then going down the other side as you get towards into Denver, it's you got to be in control. So you got to understand this. So anyway, we're gonna pick up some more of this in a little bit, and we'll see you in a few. Well, we're in Avon, Colorado. We're still a little bit west of Vail. Look at what we ran into. I'm hoping that it's not going to be this way as we get towards the east side of the mountain. But if it is, we're going to take it nice and slow. Take our time getting down there, and we'll make it. But we got a little bit of rain here, so we got to take it a little bit slower. We'll be all right. But just thought I'd share it with you. We were hoping to get through here without the rain, but it is what it is. And we will see you in a little while. Welcome to Vail, Colorado. Elevation 8,150 feet. We'll just let this run for a little bit as we go through here. We'll edit what we need if we need to, or take out what we don't need, but we're going to let this run, like I said, for a little bit here. So the interesting part about this is we're at 8,100 feet, as I mentioned, and we still have to go up the mountain so that we can come down the mountain into Denver, which is closer to 5,600 feet. So check it out and see. But like I said, we gotta get a little bit of rain. I checked; it didn't show that they were getting rain on the east side, which is where I'm more concerned about than this side. But because we're going to be going slow going this way anyway, because we're going uphill for the most part. But we will have to see whether or not what we got on the other side of the mountain. Once we figure that out, we'll be able to check it out and see from there. So, but it's a beautiful little community. Grows a lot bigger during the winter, I'm sure, with skiing and snow sports and everything else. Looking at some of the housing, some of the up in the mountain and stuff like that. It is a beautiful place. I've always liked Colorado. Most of it is rather green. As you get towards the eastern plains, or out there in they call it the Front Range. But as you get out there in the Front Range, to the eastern part of the state, it starts to dry out a little bit, and you start to end up with more of the plains kind of view, with a lot of grasslands, not necessarily green, but sometimes during the year they're green. But for the most part, you're ending up with a distinct difference between the western part of the state and the eastern part of the state. So apartments up here, or condos, or whatever they are. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the ski area right up there. I'm gonna guess it is. To your right, up there where you can see to the right, where there's that clearing of trees and stuff. I would venture to guess that that's the ski area. I do see some lifts and everything up there, so I'm guessing that's it right there. And that would make sense with all these this housing and apartments or rooms down here at the base. So if that's the case, then to go back, unless there's something ahead of us. Like I said, I haven't driven this but a handful of times. Last time I drove it, it was at night. The first time I drove it, well, I didn't drive it. The first time I came up here was with Mark, and that time we even came. It was night the first half of it, but we had stopped next to a huge lake and at a scenic outlook, and I think it was back there, but the lake isn't there. I don't know if it's a seasonal kind of lake. I don't know. There is a golf course down here below, though. I see that. But you might be able to see it too over here to your right. Yeah, if you know me, you know that golf is one of my big passions. So I have my golf clubs on my truck. So if I ever get the opportunity, the time or the opportunity, I'll come out and play some golf and check it out. But we're going to stay on this just a little while longer and see where we're at. So one of the reasons why you see chain stations, so you see all this right here to your right. Certain times of year, you're required to use chains if you're on here. You're required to carry them here in Colorado between September 1st and May 31st, I believe. Those are the dates you're required to carry them. And then depending on what the weather is, you're required to use them if you're driving certain roads, especially here in Colorado, but other parts of the country. Well, we at Stevens, we try to avoid those roads. We do have a certain amount of people who have been trained and have a lot more experience than I do, and a lot of more experience than most people do, and they are part of what we call our chain gang. Those are the people that we have that if they have to take a load someplace that requires chains, one of those people are going to get it, and they will chain up their trucks and stuff. Everyone else, we're not supposed to chain our trucks. If it requires chains, you just shut down until that requirement's no longer there, or until they can route you a different direction. So, for instance, like I mentioned, grad students and training students aren't allowed to drive up Vail Pass here. if you're coming up to Denver, or to like this load's going up to Nebraska, where the easiest way would be to route you this way, they will actually route you through Albuquerque down south, and they'll route you to I-40 to pick up I-25 north towards Denver that way. So anyway, we're heading up the mountain. We'll pick it up in a little bit as we go, and we'll see what we see. All right, we'll talk to you in a few. Well, we are at Vail Pass Summit, elevation 10,603 feet. Took a little pull out there. So looks like it's been pretty dry over here, which is good. We still have a ways to go in the mountains here, but just to give you a little view, Summit County. What a good name for a county up here, Summit County. Well, now it's time to start going down the hill for a while, and then we'll go uphill a little bit. In a little while, we'll go back uphill as we get towards the tunnels. But all of it's going to be under control, and just enjoying the way that the view looks. Some downhill coming, some more. Yeah, we just approach this like anything else, starting the right speed in the right gear and working it with our jake brake. Now, this would be a lot different if it was wet. If it was wet, we wouldn't have the jake brake, so we would start off probably in an even lower gear and use our gears and just some stabbing as we needed to with our service brake to descend this, and we would go down it, I would say, quite a bit slower. So as it is, we're going to go down under control, but as always, but not as slow as we would go if this was wet. If this was wet, we'd have to really take some time and be careful there. So anyway, we'll pick you up in a few. We're coming up on another pretty area where we go through this gorge right here. At some point in time, we're going to start heading back uphill here in a little while. So, but not right this second. We'll go downhill a little well more, and then we'll start to head back up for a little bit. gotten a chance to drive this, it's a beautiful drive, especially if you're driving. I mean, it's beautiful in a truck, but if you're driving in a four-wheel vehicle where you can stop and check out some of the sights as you go, it's that's a great opportunity right there. So. Now, a couple of things that I found out, and actually, I'm gonna wait a few before I share that with you, because I want to wait till I'm near where it's going to be important to let you know. So, anyway, we will pick you up in a few. So you got the lake over here to the right, over here. This is a lake that we stopped. There's a scenic view over here. This is as you start to turn towards Breckenridge in that area. But this huge lake, Mark and I, my trainer and I, stopped to check this out. Well, we didn't stop to check it out. Actually, what we did is we stopped there for the night, and when we stopped, it was pitch dark. There wasn't a moon in the sky or anything, and so it was totally dark. And we parked along the right shoulder in that scenic view right there, and we stayed there for the night. And when we woke up in the morning, there was this huge, beautiful lake that was just something to wake up to. I'll put a link in the description for the video from that. It was one of the videos that I did early on. Well, I want to say early on, but while I was on Mark's truck, on my trainer's truck, and but it's just west of Silverthorne over here, and. Just something to wake up to, to be able to see that. So now that we get past Silverthorne here, as you're going to see here, we're going to start to head back up the hill, up the mountain, and towards Eisenhower Tunnel in that area. And it'll be a few, but we'll check it out. Hope you enjoy the view. So we're crawling up this hill, but it's all right. We're still making it. While we're light, but we've got we still got quite a bit of weight, and it's hard to gain the momentum you need to get. But I want to talk about something real quick on this drive, because again, if you've been following my vlog, you might remember last time I drove on here, I had sort of an incident. I want to call it an incident. Let me explain something. So just a word of advice for you. So I was driving this, and in Stevens, as a company driver, we have fuel stops, Opti stops. So they tell us where to stop.
1 mile. Continue straight onto I-70 East Tunnel.
We stop where they tell us to stop to fuel, and they tell us how much to put in. Well, I did that, and my next Opti stop, well, my Opti stop before this, in that previous trip, was quite a ways back, and I didn't think I had enough. I wasn't sure I had enough fuel to get to my Opti stop. My next one, which was going to be Sapp Brothers in Commerce City, so about 67 miles from here. But what I really wanted to do was to, so what I did is I wasn't sure how much fuel I had on board. I saw what the fuel gauge was showing me, but they give us these fuel sticks, which are these wooden sticks that you put in the fuel tank, and it'll show you how many inches of fuel are in there, and then they give us a chart to show you how much fuel that actually is. So that's what we did. So that's what I did. And what it looked like is that I had plenty of fuel. But halfway up this hill we just passed, all of a sudden my truck just died on me. It just literally died on me. So, so I thought, well, I must have run out of fuel. I must have been wrong, or it took this much going this slow up this hill that I ran out of fuel. We're gonna pick this up on the other side of the tunnel here. We got two tunnels here. We got the Eisenhower Tunnel, which is the older tunnel, and then we got the Johnson Tunnel here. But they commonly refer to these both as the Eisenhower Tunnel. So we're just gonna follow this and go through it. Normally you don't switch lanes in this tunnel, but that road damage sign sort of allows you to do it. So exactly how long this tunnel is. We'll find out once we get out the other side. We'll ask Google and see what she says. That's the Johnson Tunnel. Now we got downhill, so get back right. "44 miles of downhill here." So we're gonna take our time here. Make sure. Okay, Google. How long is the Johnson Tunnel in Colorado?
1.7 mile. On the website fhwa.gov, they say the 1.7 mile long Eisenhower-Johnson tunnels are located at approximately 60 miles west of Denver.
Okay, 1.7 miles. So that way you know. Okay. Now, like I said, we've got 44 miles of downhill from here, and so it's taking your time and making sure that our brakes are good. We know they're good. I stopped at a chain end area before we got to the Eisenhower Johnson Tunnel to check them, because that brake area that's there I don't really like. There's not a lot of room. It's right next to the tunnel. So anyway, we'll pick you up a little while later. Oh, we're back because I realized I didn't finish the story I was telling before. So anyway, so my truck died, just died, and I barely got it to the shoulder, not all the way on the shoulder. Luckily, it was early enough. The traffic was really slow. So I put my triangles out, called road rescue. They had a tow truck come out, and they towed me up all the way to down this hill, which was something else, because between the tow truck, my truck, and my load, it was about 144,000 pounds that we were hauling. Coming down here took your time, just like anything else. You know, he used his Jake brake and was connected to my braking system and the whole bit. And so coming down the hill. But what I found out once we got to the bottom, and I found out how much fuel I actually had in the truck, I wasn't empty. I still had about 38 gallons, which should get me, conservatively about 240 miles, 225 to 240 miles, even in the mountains, okay? But what happened is, with the fuel tanks that low and the grade going up, the fuel tilted to where it exposed the intake in the tanks to the air, and so it started sucking in air. And because of that, it basically, I don't want to say vapor locked, I think that's the term, but anyway, getting the air in the fuel system caused it to stall. So, lesson learned. And I made sure that I had plenty of fuel to come up this hill, that I wasn't anywhere close to that low. So I didn't have to worry about it, I came over that hill with about 5/8 of a tank, so I was in good shape. So lesson for you, if you got to take those hills, because I usually never let my truck get that low, but I followed the OptiStops to T. This time I did the OptiStop plus about 15%, just to be on the safe side. If they get mad at me or charge me, they charge me, but it's cheaper than paying $700 for a tow truck. So, but anyway, so make sure if you're running hills that you've got, plenty of fuel, at least half a tank, just to keep that from happening. So, you learn stuff. I learned my lesson there, but I was following what they told me to do, and I checked to see, and I had fuel, but not knowing, that what could happen like that, and not being told, I learned my lesson. So I'm not going to let that happen again. Anyway, we still got about 35 miles downhill, and we're going to take our time doing it. And we've got 2 hours and 36 minutes to get 60 miles, so we should be in great shape. And we'll see from there. We'll see you in a few.